All right, Maddie, welcome back to the Ask Maddie Show. Maddie, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Excited to talk about crypto and answer your guys' questions.
Today, questions, hot takes, comments, we'll be answering all of those that you guys leave on our socials. But before we get into that, become a Crypto Charge member. Link will be pinned in the comment below. Take you directly to our website. Browse it so you can understand what we offer, which is education on a daily basis. Very important. And you can also tap in with our Discord community. All of our community talking to each other on a daily basis, talking crypto. Maddie's in there on a daily basis. Maddie, how often are you in the Discord?
Pretty much all day, every day, 7 days a week.
So definitely click the link down below. Also, shop.cryptocharge.com. Get some swag. Maddie, no swag again this week. What are you doing? Hats, sweatshirts. You guys can get all those things to support us. And also, team, subscribe. That greatly helps us. And like this video if you receive value from this. But you guys, questions, hot takes, comments. We're about to get into that. Maddie, are you ready?
Shake and bake, baby.
Claudia says, what about SHIBA? Maddie, I don't think you've actually gone in for your love of meme coins here. Can you briefly share your love of meme coins?
So, with meme coins, they take away one of the most important factors of should I invest in this or not for me? And that's the fundamentals. With the meme coins, there's a lot of, that community rallying behind it. And really that community kind of dies out when the price action goes away. Everyone kind of disappears and goes back into the rocks they came from once that price action isn't parabolic anymore. And, I think that if SHIBA and DOGE don't do the parabola that they did last time, that we'll probably not see the same amount of enthusiasm this time around. I look at meme coins the same way I look at going to the casino, right? I like playing a little bit of blackjack every time I go to Las Vegas. But when I go to that table, I go to that table with the expectation that I'm going to most likely lose everything I come with. Am I going to have some fun? Could I potentially win a lot of money? Sure. But that's kind of the mindset I go into it with. So with the meme coins, guys, remember, there's not that big fundamental use case like we have with so many other high quality projects out there. So if you are going to do the meme coins, go into it with the expectation of I'm probably going to lose everything, if not most of it. I could hit it big, but invest percentage wise with that mindset.
Maddie, meme coins were a big topic of the last bull run. How do you think they'll play a factor in the next bull run?
So, I think that they probably do make new all-time highs. That's just kind of how the market cycles work, right? Everything pours in at later points in the cycle, and you have Bitcoin kind of take off first, and then Ethereum kind of does its thing, and then you start to see some of the other bigger altcoins wake up, and money pours into the smaller caps as time goes on. So you have a lot of exchanges that offer Doge and SHIBA right now. So I do think that we will see as we get kind of into the last parts of the retracement, as well as the actual bull run in 2024 2025, some price appreciation there. I just don't think they're going to perform the same way they did this last cycle. Could there be a new meme coin that comes out? Yes, of course. You guys also have to think about liquidity with new meme coins that come out. Doge and SHIBA now have a lot of volume that they can trade with, but there's so many meme coins and new tiny coins that will come out, and you could see it do a 10 or 20x, but if there isn't the liquidity there for you to exit, all those gains are imaginary because you can't actually swap them for stable coins or USD.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting because we are in a smaller asset class, so obviously, and with these coins listed and talks on Twitter, everyone's hyped. You will see probably some interesting gains, and we'll have to address those when they come, Maddie. They're going to be like, "Oh, look at! I told you it was going to do big," but that's just what we get for this market class. The vibe. This guy doesn't have quant in his portfolio, but has Zcash.
Oh, I feel like I've explained the diversification so many different times. And there's a lot of people in crypto that, first of all, don't really understand the fundamentals of what they're invested in. They don't understand the importance of what a well-balanced portfolio looks like, because crypto is their first and only exposure to investing, which is not a bad thing. But if you've never understood what it's like to have a balanced portfolio within the stock market, for example, you're not going to translate that very well into a crypto environment. So, again, you got your maxis of every different sector, right? Bitcoin only, Ethereum only. There's even QNT only, XRP only. And I really don't think that's a smart approach, right? First of all, we've talked about this many times. Market rotations will happen, meaning everything will not do their 2, 3, 5, 10x all at once. You'll generally see things take turns. So I want to make sure everything's spread out across the board. I've also explained that I have a good portion of ISO 20022 compliant coins, or tokens that could be compliant with that messaging standard. I don't need to have 60 or 70% of my portfolio in that asset class. I already have plenty of tokens that are focused on interoperability and smart contracts and high TPS and all these different things. Zcash on its own is a completely different vertical within my portfolio. Privacy is something that people continue to have demand for, right? Why do you have so many businesses and people who want to do cash only, right? One of the reasons is finality. They don't want to deal with any chargebacks. And the other one is privacy, right? What you do with that money, who you're actually transacting with those dollar bills, is a lot more discreet versus using a public ledger essentially, or like your bank account, right? Those are things that people could subpoena. Those are things that could be traced. Everyone can see exactly what you're spending your money on. So Zcash allows you to transact. It's still verified with the same level of security of something like the Bitcoin network, but you're not revealing all of those sensitive details about your personal identity to everybody around you, right? So, everybody can poo on Zcash, but again, it's just one of those things where, you're going to see Zcash in the high 3 figures, low 4 figures, and then everybody's on board with it. And they're like, wow, yeah, Zcash is going to do great. It's going to be a 5-figure coin, but that doesn't seem very apparent when we're trading, in the 20s, 30s, and $40 region right now. So, to each their own. I'm choosing to diversify. I think it's foolish not to consider exposing yourself to at least one privacy coin. If it's not Zcash, maybe look at Monero, maybe look at Pirate Chain. But for me, Zcash is the privacy play.
Maddie, are you DCAing Zcash right now? Because I know we're about to enter or very close to a ban that you've been pointing out, like on our shows on the website. Are you DCAing right now?
Yeah, I'm DCAing right now, not as heavily. Once we enter this specific blue band that you were talking about, kind of the high 20s, low 30s, that's going to be probably where I'm going to be dumping some of my fiat in there. I've got fiat reserve bag. I'm looking to, obviously pick up XRP at a lower price point, but Zcash, that is the lows. That's the lows from 2017. That's the lows from 2019. That is basically your value buy zone. So I think it's foolish not to consider exposing yourself to a little bit of Zcash down there, because again, I am looking for a 4-figure Zcash at the end of this next cycle. So, do with that what you will.
I'm tracking, Maddie, and I do. A couple of people have been like bringing this up in comments or something, like, why do you choose Zcash over like another coin, another privacy coin like Monero?
Yeah, so I think that Zcash probably has the highest level of adoption. I look up to a lot of freedom fighters out there like Edward Snowden, right? And he's a big proponent of Zcash and, really enjoys the fundamentals of it. I think if I had to flip a coin and you said, hey, you had to have Zcash or Monero, I would say that they're pretty close. I'd say they go head to head. I don't think that necessarily Zcash is offering something so proprietary that Monero is not a good investment. But from a technical setup, I think that Zcash has better upside to it. And again, I'm a technical analyst through and through. That's where I come from. That's my bread and butter. So when it comes down to it and I see things that have good fundamentals, A to A, B to B, I'm going to go with the better technical upside.
Very excited for Zcash this next bull run. Troy Ortiz, right now, USDC is the least trustworthy stablecoin out there. I'm not sure why anyone is still using it, to be honest. Maddie, these are continuously flooding in our comments. This USDC flood, I know This probably has a lot to do with last year in stablecoins and also this year in Circle. Do you have anything to ease Troy's mind here, or anyone that's still like not content with what the truth is with Circle and or USDC?
Yeah, so let's clear some stuff up, right? I think that everybody has this fear of stablecoins, and it all stems back to the Terra Luna UST collapse. And UST was the algorithmically pegged stablecoin that was pegged to Luna. It was also pegged to cash and cash reserve, but it was also pegged to Bitcoin and other volatile assets, right? And that can be very beneficial in a bull run, because then you have this over collateralized pool, meaning that there's way more assets in there needed than to actually redeem the amount of UST that's out there. But obviously what happened is you had a lot of fraud, right? Do Kwon rug pulled everybody, right? Luna ended up crashing, and in turn that crashed the price of UST, and you kind of had just this washing machine of people abusing that huge spread, buying UST at a discount, swapping that back to Luna, right? Doing that whole washing machine. So that kind of tainted people's idea of stable coins. But when we talk about true stable coins, right? USDT, USDC, those are assets that are pegged to cash and cash reserves only, right? So there's no volatile assets in there to create this crazy depeg, right? So when we did have, this slight depreciation in USDC price, and again, this is only on exchange, that didn't affect the actual value of USDC. Circle was continuously redeeming USDC dollar for dollar if you went directly to Circle. You guys have to remember that the price that you see on exchange is what people are willing to pay right then and there in a certain marketplace, right? Just the same as if I were to go take my bar of gold to one marketplace and then I drive it, 2,000 miles up the coast, I'm going to get a different price at a different shop for that same price of gold, right? But if I take it back to the refinery, I take it to a smelter, I'm going to get a more consistent price. So same thing here with the stable coins. You know, there was a lot of fear and a lot of contagion going out there right now. We also saw the issues with BUSD, right? With Paxos getting sued by the SEC saying, hey, you can't, facilitate this for Binance anymore, taking BUSD out of the market. So I really think that at the end of the day, there's a lot of intentional manipulation, a lot of intentional trying to make people fearful of the idea of stable coins. You can't trust them, right? And at the end of the day, they're probably going to try to push something on us like Fed coin or something that's government backed, right? But again, these private companies, especially Tether, have been around for years and years and years and have had zero liquidity issues, and people have always been able to redeem their Tether one for one. So again, if an exchange is offering you a lesser price, that is specific to the exchange environment. It does not represent the true value of what the stablecoin is worth if you're able to redeem those one for one at the source.
Great insight, Maddie. Anonymous _ number 5. Are you kidding me not to include XDC, Maddie?
I can't buy every XRP oriented asset. I can't buy every ISO 20022 related asset. Again, guys, it doesn't matter how big your portfolio is, right? It comes down to being focused and being concentrated on a handful of assets. So, I could buy Quant, I could buy XDC, I could buy all these things. I could buy Casino Coin. I could buy everything that runs on the XRP ledger, right? But it doesn't inherently mean, hey, XRP did well. We did a 50x, we did a 100x, we did a 30x this cycle, right? That automatically everything inside of that, realm of understanding of what runs near or on the XRP ledger is going to do a proportional move, right? The XDC is also going to do a 100x. There's only so much time that you can really allocate to doing thorough and consistent research on a certain number of projects, right? So, if I've got 12 or 13 projects in my portfolio and I truly, genuinely want to understand them, keep up with all the updates, be able to deliver to my audience and my members consistent and quality updates on those assets, I can't, be so spread so thin with 30, 40, 50 assets and tell myself I'm genuinely keeping up on these. I genuinely know what I'm investing in and I'm able to keep up with all future developments. It's not possible. So I choose to stay super concentrated. That's why as we kind of get down into the grits of it, and I think that we probably have come towards a bottom in this bear market, and we're probably going to be heading to a retracement, set some sort of higher low at the end of this year. I don't want to be adding more coins to my portfolio. I want to be focused on what I have and be adding to those bags more aggressively. So again, I'm not going to say that, I know everything about XDC, but if it's for you and it's in your portfolio and it's in your top 10 or 12, of course, you should continue to add to it and research it. I just don't have the bandwidth to add 10, 20, 30 more coins to my portfolio and say, I'm going to be able to manage these actively.
And that's saying from a guy that does this on a daily basis, news, right. So it's like, Maddie, should we really be out here having, 8 plus, 10 plus, 20 plus cryptos? Is that really think about trying to sell all those cryptos in a bull run?
Right. You got to have a game plan. And I see everyone do it just about every cycle. You get very excited. And especially when you see something do like a 2 or 3 or 4x, and you're like, oh, it's going to do it again. It's going to do another 5x from here. And people get stuck with these coins. And by the end of the bear market, or when the next bear market comes, they're like liquidating all of this dust. And why did I even buy this in the first place? Right. And that I just never want to feel that way, no matter if I'm investing, especially if I'm trading, right? I see people see price moving very quickly and they're trying to open their short position very quickly. You already missed the move, right? It's okay. Breathe. If you feel yourself rushing into anything, whether it's an investment of a new long-term investment or rushing into a trade, it's probably a mistake, because the action that you're looking for has already occurred. So you can always look for a pullback. You can look to dollar cost average in. You can look to do research as you go. Guys, there's a million coins out there. There's going to be more that come onto the market every single year. Don't feel like that you've missed the next gem. If you find something you like, research into it, DCA into it, find some areas of interest that are lower to maybe add more aggressively, but never FOMO into anything.
Max Mandel _ do you have any worries of the Ripple case and the SEC ending and XRP missing those mid 30-cent lows?
Everybody wants to know when the case is going to end, right? Is it going to settle? Are we going to just see a $3 or $4 XRP the second that the lawsuit ends? And I want you guys to remember a few things. The first part is that a resolution to the case where XRP gets some sort of clarity can also be negative for Ripple, or you can have XRP still left in somewhat of a gray zone where it's not necessarily automatically labeled a security, but then the SEC appeals and this is pushed further down the road. You kind of see a knee-jerk, reaction in price. So, I think that everyone's looking for this resolution in the case where Judge Torres comes out and he goes, Ripple, you didn't do anything wrong. XRP is also not a security. Everyone have a great day. And I just don't think it's going to be that simple. I think that we're probably going to get some sort of settlement. I don't think it's going to be 100% advantageous to Ripple. As much as that's what I want to see, I don't think that's how it's going to play out. From a technical standpoint, right, I think that a lot of people saw the price action with XRP and they thought, me selling in that 52, 53 cent range was kind of stupid. And they're like, well, you could see it moving a lot higher here. It can move 70, 90 cents a dollar. And we've already broken below a lot of the levels that people were saying this is already an ironclad floor of support. We're already, back down in the 40s, right? So, looking for us to drop another like 7 to 10 cents from here, I don't think that's that crazy. We've already seen Bitcoin come down a bit. That's been quite overextended as we're doing this type of recording. The equity market is kind of turning over from some of its key resistance levels. So, when the market overextends like this, I look for opportunities to maybe take a little bit of that bag and reaccumulate at lower prices, because as much as we want for price to continue just moving up in a straight line towards our retracement levels, it's very unlikely. So I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with my plan. This is part of removing the emotions from it. You can only have so many what ifs before you give yourself analysis paralysis and make zero decisions and then get frustrated that you didn't make any decisions at all.
Team, I'll put a card right above Maddie. Maddie, we did a video a couple months ago where you broke down, I think it was 3 scenarios maybe of the potential outcome of SEC v Ripple. And you really got into the nitty gritty about, what happens with XRP, what happens, with the rest of the crypto, because this spans more into crypto, So I'll put that above your head, team, so you can click on that. Last comment here. Jesse Prince Fraser. I just feel it. You guys are going to be huge next bull run. Keep it coming.
Hey, I really appreciate that, Jesse. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, we've been doing this for, in October of this year will be 2 years. We've been doing Crypto Charge now, and it's really only just been the last year or so that we've been really just hammering social media, trying to give you guys some of that value and content. And, this is something that is a passion project for me and my partners. That's why we started this is, of course, we're in the business of making money and helping you guys out, but we really want to educate you guys with good quality content, because there's so much free information out there that's horrible information, right? It's not consistent. There's people who will maybe give you information that could make you some money in the future, right? Maybe suggesting, micro caps or meme coins, and maybe they do really well. We really want to put you guys in that investor mindset, everything from understanding the fundamentals of crypto, understanding, how technical analysis works, not just saying, hey, enter here, buy here, sell here. We're showing you guys every day, 5 days a week, exactly why we're looking for those things. We're never just telling you do this and do that. We're giving you guys all the facts and circumstances and allowing you guys to make educated decisions for yourself on what makes sense for you in your personal portfolio. So again, these comments like this really make it all worth it to me. This is really the goal of continuing to grow what we have here, educate more people and help people understand that crypto really is the next biggest investment class. I don't think that we're going to see Gen Z invest heavily into the stock market. I think that their portfolios will be weighted probably somewhere between 60 and 80% in crypto. Maybe they'll have a little bit of exposure to the stock and bond market, but this is going to be the biggest asset class moving forward over the next several decades. I truly believe that.
Words of wisdom, Maddie. I retweet what he said. But that's all we got for today, team. Thank you for joining us. Again, please like the video. That greatly helps us. But until next time, see ya.